Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And today we've got a conversation.
And our conversation today is all about Super Bowl ads.
Super Bowl ads for cars.
That's right. Specifically those, because we don't care about anything else.
Nope.
So what Greg and I have done is sat through all four ads from car companies. They're really just going all out this year.
Yeah, the big three famously before the Super Bowl likely announced this fact that said that, hey, we're not going to go ahead and do any ads this year for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. We're going to try and save money. We're not going to put that marketing budget in. So we only got four.
Yeah, and all four of them are from foreign automakers. So we sat through all four of them.
Yes.
Spent a lot of time.
At least 6 or 7 minutes.
Viewing all those ads. What we're going to do is go in alphabetical order based on manufacturer. Mm-hmm. And Greg and I are going to kind of talk about how we felt about each ad and rank them based on kind of how we felt from first place down to fourth place.
Absolutely. So, first off, alphabetically is our friends at BMW.
BMW. Okay. Well, we've been kind of honest about BMW.
We've been probably a little overly honest about BMW. And
their styling direction.
Their styling direction, and not a huge winner here with the i5 being showcased. It's not a handsome car. Literally at the Super Bowl party I was at, someone commented, the proportions of that car are just all wrong, without any prompting from me. I did not prompt this.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. It looks really, really odd. But I guess to go along with that oddness, they wanted to feature Christopher Walken.
Yes, Christopher Walken, which is... I mean, he is just so funny and interesting, right? I mean, he's a wonderful actor, and I just love everything that he's in. And also love this commercial for that reason. So I actually ranked it as my top commercial, BMW styling notwithstanding. So where did you rank it, Jordan?
I didn't. I did not rank it in first place at all. Well, there we go. See, we disagree about something.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Christopher Walken is a national treasure, and he is known for his weirdness and uniqueness, right? BMW, known for its weirdness now, I think, in terms of styling. And it's really going after a play with this ad, kind of saying, hey, everybody wants to be like Christopher Walken. Everybody wants to be like BMW and what we're doing. And I don't really see that. I hope not, at least. But I had it actually ranked as third because I just don't get it. Like, okay, sure, you want to be like Christopher Walken thrown in the ad, and that's fine, but I just don't see how it fits with your overall brand performance.
Well, I watched a video on the making of as well, so maybe I actually spent about 8 minutes doing this.
Wow, okay.
And so, they really were going for imitation and flattery, right? It was really the nexus of this commercial, the underlying theme that they're trying to get everyone, because everybody, was imitating Christopher Walken, who's a fantastic actor. Okay. And so now they're saying that everyone wants to imitate BMW because they're a fantastic automaker.
Who's doing that?
They think other people are, apparently. Not really with the wacky designs, at least.
Yeah, thankfully. So, okay, well.
But it was a fun, lighthearted commercial. Loved the, inclusion of Usher there at the end.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah. All right, so moving on down the alphabetical list from BMW, we have Kia.
Yes, Kia.
Widely featured on this podcast, apparently.
Yes, if you got our last week's episode, we talked at length about Kia from the Chicago Auto Show.
The Kia Auto Show.
Yes, the Kia Auto Show. And this commercial featured a car that was not at that auto show, which is the EV9.
So it's true, yeah. So EV9, for those of you that haven't seen it yet, is essentially a 3-row electric SUV, kind of like an electric version of the Telluride, right? Mm-hmm. So it does have quite a few interesting features on it. And in this particular ad, it kind of featured a young girl who was ice skating and didn't get to see her grandfather at her performance. She was pretty sad because he was at home and couldn't attend the ceremony. So Dad took it into his own hands, drove through really stormy weather.
Went onto an icy track.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
In his EV9. Made sure he had a full charge before he did it because you have diminished charge in the cold weather.
Fair point. And, well, how convenient in that our grandpa lives in a cabin in the woods.
A beautiful cabin, mind you. Yes, so this grandfather could probably own a helicopter if he really wanted to.
With a nice frozen over lake.
Yes.
How convenient is this? So
an extra level of convenience that this ad included was the fact that despite this being basically in the backyard of their fancy cabin, he needed to plug in the lights around the pond into the Kia.
Well,
to show that you could, power something externally, even though the house was right there. So we're not going to run an extension cord. No, we're going to plug in our Kia.
We're not making any assumptions here.
We're going to deplete the range further.
I think Gregory might be attacking us from a different angle than me, but I think that's a really cool way to showcase something that the kid is capable of doing. Because if you are going camping or something like that, and you don't have access to a power outlet, unlike probably grandfather did, right?
Well, that's what makes it funny, though. I think that was like the one feature of the car they really did, illustrate, which is great. And but it's just like thinking of it logically, it just makes no sense at all.
Yeah. But that being said, I thought it really tugged at heartstrings.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought it was a really motivating, powerful ad, and I had it ranked as my number 1 pick.
Yes, I had it ranked as my second. They definitely pulled on your heartstrings. When the grandfather on the icy window puts a little 10. Oh, which that little girl couldn't see from there, but it's all fine. But it was definitely
have better eyesight than you, Greg.
That's probably true. But it's still a fun ad, and definitely pulled on the heartstrings. So
right.
All right. So next up is the Toyota ad, and this one was boring, to say the least.
Kind of a yawn fest.
It just showed a Tacoma off-roading and someone kind of holding on to the crap handle, and so they called it. What did they call it? They actually called it. The Dareful Handle.
Dareful Handle.
And that feels like a poor translation. It's like, when you get something from old, Japanese or Chinese translated to English that someone doesn't know what they're doing. That kind of is what that sounds like, the Dareful Handle.
I'm not sure what that meant.
Yeah, and so it really doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know exactly where they're going with the name for this ad. Yeah. But, it showcased the Tacoma's off-roading ability and that it's a fun truck, but with it being all new, they didn't showcase any of the new features that it has, anything that it's kind of bringing to the table now.
Yeah, it's true. To be honest with you, the Tacoma is going to be a bestseller no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a bestseller even though it's been riding on an ancient platform for a decade. People love it for its reliability. It just seemed like an awkward angle to go for a Super Bowl ad, especially one that's only 30 seconds long.
Yeah, 30 seconds costs a fortune. It's a truck is already going to sell.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. It would have been better, I think, to showcase some of the newer features on the newest Tacoma to maybe bring in some folks who wouldn't normally consider a Toyota product. But I had it ranked as 4th, dead last in my pick.
I also had it dead last, just because it was just not a great ad, and it just didn't make a lot of sense.
Didn't.
Yeah.
All right, and rounding out our last selection alphabetically in our automakers is Volkswagen.
Yes, Volkswagen. Fahrvergnügen. Jordan's probably going to put this as a tie for first.
No, I don't do ties. We don't do ties here at the driver's line. Okay, no. We always have a winner. None of that nonsense.
There's always a winner and a loser at the driver's line.
Right. So, for Volkswagen's ad, it tried to lean on to its fact that it's been in the United States now for 75 years. It's 75th anniversary.
Hard to believe.
So yeah, going way back to the original Beetle. In this ad called American Love Story, we see starting off with the original Beetle and moving on all the way down to its newest upcoming release, which is the ID Buzz.
Mm-hmm. This one was really kind of an odd feeling for me, I have to say. So they show a bug driving around in the 40s in the United States.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird time for especially the people's car and the whole history of what and the reason why the Beetle was created.
Yeah. We don't really see.
They try to gloss over that completely. They're not even trying to talk about that. So it feels very weird to me, given the whole history and historical situation with the Second World War.
You're spending too much time on the beginning, though. Look at how far Volkswagen has come.
I think that's really what they're trying to tell. But calling it American Love Story and then starting with that, it just is uncomfortable.
I understand for sure. The origins are a bit. It's tough. Just we'll leave it there. But look how far
they've come to ID Buzz.
We have created some really fantastic vehicles over the 75 years, and they've really become integral in lots of parts of American culture. Is really what we're driving towards, and ultimately we are shaking up the electric landscape.
Yep, I think the ID Buzz has a huge opportunity for success. Yeah. When they wheeled it out in that ad, my wife's like, "That thing's hideous." I'm like, you have no taste, because the ID Buzz looks really, really cool, and I think it's going to be a massive success for Volkswagen just because it's going to pull on the heartstrings of those people who love the old minibuses, and then folks who are interested in the whole electric vehicle perspective and want something with a little bit of space that's going to be unique, it's going to be right up their alley.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to make some type of splash when it comes to the ID Buzz, and I think it's really cool that an automaker like that is taking a risk on something that, I mean, let's be honest, minivans aren't huge sellers in the United States, and now you're taking one that's shrinking it down a little bit. It's really built all on nostalgia, right? Yes. So you got to tie that in with the history of Volkswagen in America. I mean, it's a natural fit, and for that reason, I had it ranked second.
Yeah. So I had it ranked third. I thought it fell flat compared to a lot of the Volkswagen ads of the past. Like the one I'm thinking about, one of the best ads ever in the Super Bowl was the 2012 Volkswagen ad, Little Kid's Darth Vader.
Yes, I mean that
was so fantastic. Just seeing that little Vader walking around.
And for a boring product,
for an extremely boring product, it was a Passat, wasn't it?
Oh, and had ID4 one version too.
Yeah, and so Passat hits the remote start, and the dad does, and the car comes in. You see that little Vader whip around. Yeah. I did it! I finally did it! Yeah, definitely had a stronger background, but I still think it did a pretty good job of tying into to American culture. Yep. There, so. All right. So that gives you a roundup of the 4 automotive ads. Yes, the 4 automotive ads. Maybe next year there'll be more. Maybe those purse strings are going to loosen up a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, bye, Swifties. Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing.